Hi everyone, my name is Joy Hipsch and welcome to the first episode of Round the Track. I will talk about the past race weekend and preview the next race weekend and many other NASCAR headlines. First, I'll recap all three of the NASCAR National Series seasons up to this point of the year. First up is the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. So far through the first three races of the year, defending series champion Johnny Sauer, a Wisconsin native, leads point standings by 4 points over Christopher Bell. So far the trucks have only had 3 races to start off their season. The first race of the season was at Daytona International Speedway. Kaz Growler won the pole and became the youngest NASCAR National Series pole winner when he won the pole for the Next Era Energy Resources 250. Later that night, after a crash-filled race, Kaz Growler came out victorious and became the youngest NASCAR National Series race winner at age 18. The second race of the season took place at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Christopher Bell won pole position and went on to win all 3 stages, becoming the first driver in any of the top 3 series to sweep the stages in the race in dominating fashion by leading 99 of the 130 laps. After the second race of the season, the series took a 3-weekend break. The series' most recent stop was at Martinsville Speedway. Chase Elliott won the pole and went on to win the race over teammate Johnny Sauter, reversing the results from the fall 2016 race where Johnny Sauter beat Chase Elliott. The Camping World Truck Series now takes another break for 3 more weeks before they get back on track at Kansas Speedway for the 4th race of the season on May 12th. So my playoff predictions for the top 8 are Johnny Sauter, Matt Crafton, John Hunter Nemechek, Christopher Bell, Kaz Growler, he's locked in already, Chase Briscoe, and then 2 more other guys. And out of those 4, I think Johnny Sauter will be at Homestead defending his title. Matt Crafton will be there. Christopher Bell, and then Timothy Peters, I think, will be able to get back there after last year. And it's gonna I think it'll come down to Matt Crafton and Johnny Sauter once again, like last season. But I think Johnny Sauter pulls it off because they've been so strong to start off the season, but also Christopher Bell has. So it'll probably come down to them 3, and I think Johnny Sauter will either finish runner-up in the race or win the race to hold off Matt Crafton and Christopher Bell. And I think my Rookie of the Year will probably be Chase Briscoe because he's in a Brad Keselowski racing truck, and they've been very strong to start off the season. Next up is the NASCAR Xfinity Series. So far through the first 6 races of the season, Elliott Sadler leads the point standings by 6 points over teammate and rookie William Byron. So far they have only been off for 1 weekend through the first 7 weeks of the season. Their season opener also took place at Daytona. Elliott Sadler dominated the first 2 stages of the race, but then wrecked in a late caution. After the dust had settled at the end of the race, Ryan Reed, a type 1 diabetic, came out victorious, winning his 2nd career race at Daytona and ending his career, despite being involved in multiple wrecks earlier in the race. The second race of the season took place at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Kyle Busch won pole position and went on to win the race in dominating fashion like usual, his 2nd straight win in the event. The 3rd race of the season saw the series head to Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Joey Logano won the race and led 106 of the 200 laps. Phoenix International Speedway was the site of the 4th race of the season. Justin Allgaier won the race and the $100,000 Dash for Cash prize. This was his 4th career Xfinity Series win and his first with Junior Motorsports in his tenure with them. The 5th race of the season took place at Auto Club Speedway. Kyle Larson held off Joey Logano on the final lap to secure his 6th career Xfinity Series win, his 2nd at Auto Club Speedway. The 6th and most recent race took place at the newly repaved, reconfigured Texas Motor Speedway. Eric Jones held off Ryan Blaney on the final 3 laps to secure his 7th career Xfinity Series win, his 2nd at Texas Motor Speedway. Darrell Wallace Jr. extended his streak of consecutive 6th-place finishes to 5 by finishing 6th in the race. The NASCAR Xfinity Series returns to the track this weekend when they take on Bristol Motor Speedway for the 7th race of the season and the 2nd race of the Dash for Cash program. My playoff predictions are Elliott Sadler will be the 1 seed, and William Byron will be right on his heels. Justin Allgaier will be right there, just like last year. I think Matt Tifft will be there. A couple of Joe Gibbs guys. There's no Penske's. Blake Cook will get back in. Ty Dillon. Ty Dillon's not racing full time there anymore. Brendan Gaughan will be back. So it'll be a lot of the dominant teams once again. And my final 4 are Elliott Sadler, Justin Allgaier, William Byron, and Matt Tifft. My champion will be, I think Elliott Sadler will redeem himself from last year and finally get that coveted first championship that he's been looking for a long time. My Rookie of the Year will be William Byron, who I think will finish runner-up to Elliott Sadler in the championship race. Over the winter break, the NASCAR Cup Series got a new title sponsor in Monster Energy after Sprint left at the end of the 2016 season. So far through the first 7 races of the season, Kyle Larson leads the point standings by 17 points over Chase Elliott. However, Brad Keselowski has collected 10 playoff points with 2 wins and is currently the number 1 seed in the playoff seedings, while Martin Truex Jr. is the 2nd seed with 9 playoff points. So far, the Cup Series has had 7 straight races to start off the season, but they were off for Easter this last weekend. The first race of the season was the Advanced Auto Parts Clash at Daytona, where Joey Logano held off Kyle Busch and Alex Bowman to win his first career Advanced Auto Parts Clash. The first points-paying race of the season was the 59th running of the Great American Race, the Daytona 500. For the 2nd straight year, Chase Elliott won the pole for the Daytona 500. However, it was the 3rd straight for the Hendrick Motorsports 2014 when Jeff Gordon won the pole for the 500 in a group qualifying format in 2015. And Dale Earnhardt Jr. has returned to the track for the first time in 7 months. Dale Jr. was able to place his number 88 Chevrolet 2nd on Daytona 500 pole qualifying day to go along with his teammate Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott then took home the checkered flag in Can-Am Duel number 1, becoming the youngest Can-Am Duel winner in the race's history. Denny Hamlin won Can-Am Duel number 2. After a wreck-filled race, Kurt Busch came out victorious, winning his first career Daytona 500 and his first career restrictor plate race, despite only leading the final lap. Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson were in position to win their first 500s, but they both ran out of gas on the final lap of the race. The series' 2nd stop took them to Atlanta Motor Speedway. Kevin Harvick won the pole and went on to win the first 2 stages of the race and led 282 of the 325 laps, but failed to win the race after he was caught speeding on pit road during the final pit stop. Brad Keselowski overcame his own issues of loose luggage to win the Folds of Honor Quick Trip 500. The series' next stop was to Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Martin Truex Jr. became the first Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series driver to sweep all 3 stages of a race and won the Cobalt Tools 400 after he passed Brad Keselowski's faltering car on the final lap. As Truex approached the checkered flag, Joey Logano's Ford slid up into Kyle Busch's Toyota in turns 3 and 4 as they were battling for 3rd position. Kyle Busch then spun into the inside wall and finished a disappointing 22nd place. However, the battle between Logano and Busch didn't end after the checkers. Busch walked up pit road and confronted Logano and threw a punch at his head and started a brawl, but NASCAR officials soon broke it up. Neither driver got fined for this incident. The 4th stop of the season was at Phoenix International Speedway. Brian Newman won the race by staying out in a late race pit strategy move, which snapped his 127 race winless streak and RCR's 112 race winless streak. The fifth race of the season was at Auto Club Speedway, where Kyle Larson won the race from the pole and dominated much of the race, leading 109 of the 202 laps. The victory secured Kyle Larson's first career weekend sweep. Martinsville Speedway was the site of the sixth race of the season. Brad Keselowski overcame a speeding penalty under caution on lap 72 and swapped the lead with Kyle Busch in the final 64-lap green flag run to win for the second time this season, his first at Martinsville. His victory also snapped a long winless streak for Ford at Martinsville that went all the way back to October 20th, 2002. The most recent race took place at the newly repaved and reconfigured Texas Motor Speedway. Ryan Blaney dominated the first two stages of the race, leading 148 of the 334 laps, but finished a disappointing 12th. Defending seven-time series champion Jimmy Johnson started in the rear of the field due to qualifying issues, but overcame the bad starting position to pass Joe Logano on lap 318 of 334 for the lead and went on to win his 81st career race and his 7th at Texas Motor Speedway. So now we're down to the playoff predictions. I think all the guys that were in it last year will probably make it, except a couple of them that barely made it in last year. I think Jamie McMurray will get a win somewhere in there, maybe Talladega or Daytona because he's really good at the restricted plates, and maybe Snow because he's really good there. Kyle Larson's locked in, Brad's locked in, Harvick will be there, Johnson will be there. I think Chase Elliott will get his win soon. I don't know where, maybe Michigan in a couple of weeks when the summer comes. And then Dale Jr., I think he'll find victory lane sometime. He just has to get back into the groove after missing how many races last year. So my final four are Jimmy Johnson, Chase Elliott, Martin Truex Jr., and Kevin Harvick, I think, gets back there after missing for the first time last season. And this is a really tough decision for champion because they're all strong. Martin Truex Jr. should have probably won it last year because he is so strong and probably the most dominant driver on the mile and halves. And then Kevin Harvick, he won the race in 2014 to clinch his first title, and then Johnson did the same last year to get his 7th. And then Chase Elliott, who knows with him? He's sophomore, he's unpredictable, anything can happen down there. But I think Martin Truex Jr. will probably win it just because how strong that team is. And with the JGR Alliance, it really has helped them. My Rookie of the Year will go to Eric Jones because I think he'll outrun Daniel Suarez for probably the whole year, majority of the time, until maybe like the last 10 races. And then Daniel Suarez will get better and better with the type of equipment he has. But I think Eric Jones will just outrun him more, and Ty Dillon just not as good as equipment as Eric Jones and Daniel Suarez are in. The Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series returns to the track this weekend when they take on Bristol Motor Speedway for the 8th race of the season and the 25th annual Food City 500. So my favorites for this weekend are Kyle Busch for sure. Brad's going to be strong. Those are the main two. Matt Kenseth should be decent because that's one of the big races that JGR is usually pretty good at with Hamlin and Kenseth. That's a really strong track for them. And then maybe Johnson, we'll see how he does. I don't think his one win 2 weeks ago makes him everything's all good now. We'll see after this weekend. Dale Jr. ran second there last year, so maybe he's a dark horse because they've been struggling and they finally got their first top 5 at Texas. So it's possible he could get the W. And then Chase Elliott, he ran very strong there in both races, so he could be a surprise pick. And with the bottom groove and the tire dragging and they're putting that sticky substance on, I think that was the greatest thing they did last year. it really opened up the lanes, so now you don't just ride the high line the entire race, and you can actually somewhat make passes on the bottom if you drive in hard and it holds. Well, that's all I have for the first episode of Round the Track. Thanks for everyone tuning in. Until next time, enjoy the Bristol Race Weekend, everyone.